औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली। Section 5 Non-Destructive Testing 5.1 Introduction Radiographic, ultrasonic, dye-penetrant and magnetic particle methods are briefly described below. Their relative advantages and limitations are discussed in terms of their applicability to the examination of welds. 5.2 Radiographic methods. In all cases, radiographic methods as applied to welds involve passing a beam of penetrating radiation through the test object. The transmitted radiation is collected by some form of sensor capable of measuring the relative intensities of penetrating radiations impinging upon it. In most cases, this sensor is radiographic film. However, the use of various electronic devices is on the increase. These devices facilitate so-called real-time radiography, and examples may be seen in the security check areas at airports. Digital technology has enabled the storing of radiographs using computers. The present discussion is confined to film radiography, since this is still the most common method applied to welds. 5.2.1 Sources of penetrating radiation. Penetrating radiation may be generated from high-energy electron beams and X-rays, or from nuclear disintegration, atomic fission, in which case they are termed gamma rays. Other forms of penetrating radiation exist but are of limited interest in weld radiography. 5.2.2 X-rays. X-rays used in the industrial radiography of welds generally have photon energies in the range of 30 kilo electron volt up to the 20 million electron volt. Up to 400 kilo electron volt, they are generated by conventional X-ray tubes, which depend upon output may be suitable for portable or fixed installation. Portability falls off rapidly with increased kilo voltage and radiation output. Above 400 kilo electron volt X-rays are produced using devices such as Betatrons and linear accelerators, not generally suitable for use outside of fixed installations. All sources of X-rays produce a continuous spectrum of radiation, reflecting the spread of kinetic energies of electrons within the electron beam. Low energy radiations are more easily absorbed, and the presence of low energy radiations within the X-ray beam gives rise to better radiographic contrast and therefore better radiographic sensitivity than in case with gamma rays, which are discussed below. Conventional X-ray units are capable of performing high-quality radiography on steel of up to 60 mm thickness, Betatrons and linear accelerators in excess of 300 mm. 5.2.3 Gamma rays. Early sources of gamma rays used in industrial radiography were in generally composed of naturally occurring radium. The activity of these sources was not very high, so they were large by modern standards, even for quite modest output of radiation, and the radiographs produced were not of particular high standard. Radium sources were also extreme hazards to the user due to production of radioactive radon gas as a product of the fission reaction. Since the advent of the nuclear age, it has been possible to artificially produce isotopes of much higher specific activity than those occurring naturally, which do not produce hazardous fission products. Unlike X-ray sources, gamma sources do not produce a continuous distribution of quantum energies. Gamma sources produce a number of specific quantum energies unique for any particular isotope. Four isotopes in common use for the radiography of worlds are in ascending order of the radiation energy: thulium 90, terbium 169, iridium 192, and cobalt 60. In terms of steel, thulium 90 is useful up to a thickness of about 7 mm. Its energy is similar to that of 90 kV X-rays, and due to its high specific activity, useful sources can be produced with physical dimensions of less than 0.5 mm. Terbium 169 has only fairly recent become available as an isotope for industrial use. Its energy is similar to that of 120 kV X-rays and is useful for the radiography of steel up to approximately 12 mm thickness. Iridium 192 is probably the most commonly encountered isotope source of radiation used in the radiographic examination of worlds. It has a relatively and high specific activity and output sources with physical dimensions of 2 to 3 mm in common usage. Its energy is approximately equivalent to that of 500 kV X-rays and is useful for the radiation of steel of 10 to 75 mm thickness. Cobalt 60 has an energy approximating that of 1.2 million electron volt X-ray, so suitable source containers are large and heavy, so cobalt 60 sources are not fully portable. They are useful for the radiography of steel in 40 to 150 mm of thickness. The major advantages of using isotopic sources over X-rays are: dot, increased portability, dot, no need for a power source, dot, lower initial equipment costs. Against this, the quality of radiographs produced by gamma ray techniques is inferior to those produced by X-ray. The hazards to personnel may be increased if the equipment is not properly maintained, or if the operating personnel have insufficient training, and due to their limited useful lifespan, new isotopes have to be purchased on a regular basis, so that the operating cost may exceed those of an X-ray source. 5.2.4 Radiography of worlds. Radiographic techniques depend on detecting differences in absorption of the beam, that is, changes in the effective thickness of the test object, to reveal defective areas. Volumetric world defects such as slag inclusions, except in special cases where the slag absorbs radiation in a greater extent than does the weld metal, and various forms of gas porosity are easily detected by radiography techniques due to the large negative absorption differences between the parent metal and the slag or gas. Planar defects such as cracks or lack of sidewall fusion or internal fusion are much less likely to be detected by radiography, since they may cause little or no change in the penetrated thickness. Where defects of this type are likely to occur, other NDE techniques such as ultrasonic testing are preferably. This lack of sensitivity to planar defects makes radiography unsuitable where a fitness for purpose approach is taken when assessing the accessibility of a weld. However, film radiography produces a permanent record of the weld condition, which can be achieved for further reference and provides an excellent means of assessing the welder's performance, so it is often still the preferred method for new construction. Figure 5.1 X-ray equipment. Figure 5.2 gamma ray equipment. Figure 5.3 X-ray of a welded seam showing porosity. 5.2.5 Radiographic technique testing. Advantages: permanent record, good for sizing non-planar defects or flaws, can be used on all materials, direct image of defect or flaws, real-time imaging, can be positioned inside pipe, productivity, very good thickness penetration, no power limited with gamma, no power required with gamma. Limitations: health hazard, safety important, classified workers, medical required, sensitive to defect orientation, not good for planar defect detection, limited ability to detect fine cracks, access to both sides required, skilled interpretation required, relatively slow, high capital outlay and running costs. Isotopes have a half-life cost. 5.3 Ultrasonic methods. The velocity of ultrasound is any given material is a constant for that material, and ultrasonic beams travel in a straight lines in homogeneous materials. When ultrasonic waves pass from a given material with a given sound velocity to a second material with different velocity, refraction and a reflection of the sound beam will occur at boundary between the two materials. The same laws of physics apply to ultrasonic waves as to light waves. Ultrasonic waves are refracted at a boundary between two materials having different acoustic properties, so probes may be constructed which can beam sound into a material at within certain limits any given angle. Because sound is reflected at a boundary between two materials having different acoustic properties, ultrasound is a useful tool for the detection of weld defects. Since velocity is a constant for any given material and sound travels in a straight line with the right equipment, ultrasound can also be used to give accurate positional information about a given reflector. Careful observation of the echo pattern of a given reflector and its behavior as the ultrasonic probe is moved together with the positional information obtained above and knowledge of the component history enables the experienced ultrasonic operator to classify the reflector as slag, lack of fusion, or a crack. 5.3.1 Equipment for ultrasonic testing. Equipment for manual ultrasonic testing consists of a flow detector, pulse generator, adjustable time-based generator with an adjustable delay control, cathode ray tube with fully rectified display, calibrated amplifier with a graduated gain control or attenuator, an ultrasonic probe, piezoelectric crystal element capable of converting electrical variation into mechanical variation, vibration into mechanical vibration and vice versa. Probe show normally a perspex block to which the crystal is firmly attached using suitable adhesive. Dot. Electrical or mechanical crystal damping facility to prevent excessive ringing. Such equipment is lightweight and extremely portable. Automated or semi-automated systems of ultrasonic testing the same basic use equipment, although since in general this will be multi-channel, it is bulkier and less portable. Probes for automated system are set in arrays and some form of manipulator is necessary to feed positional information about them to the computer. Automated systems generate very large amount of data and make large demands upon the RAM of the computer. Recent advances in automated duty have led to a reduced amount of data being recorded for a given length of weld. Specified probe arrays have greatly reduced the complexity of setting up the automated system to carry out a particular task. Automated duty system now provide a serious alternative to radiography on such construction as pipelines where a large number of similar inspections allow the unit cost of system development to be reduced to a competitive level. Figure 5.4 Ultrasonic equipment. Figure 5.5 Compression and a shear wave probe. Figure 5.6 Example of a scanning technique with a shear wave probe. Figure 5.7 Typical screen display when choosing a shear wave probe. Ultrasonic testing. 5.3.2 Advantages. Portable, no main power battery. Direct location of defect, 3-dimensional. Good for complex geometry. Safe operation, can be done next to someone. Instant results. High penetrating capability, can be done from one side only. Good for finding planar defects. Limitations. No permanent record, only ferritic material mainly. High level of operator skill required. Calibration of equipment required. Special calibration blocks required. No good for pinpointing porosity. Critical of surface conditions. Clean, smooth, will not detect surface defects. Material thickness greater than 8 mm due to dead zone. 5.4 Magnetic particle testing. Surface breaking or a very near surface discontinuities in ferromagnetic materials give rise to leakage fields when high level of magnetic flux are applied. These leakage fields attract magnetic particle, finely divided magnetite, to themselves, leading to the formation of indication. The magnetic particle may be visibly or fluorescently pigmented to provide contrast with the substrate, or conversely, the substrate may be lightly coated with a white background lacquer to contrast with the particles. Fluorescent magnetic particles normally provide the greatest sensitivity in a liquid suspension, usually applied by spraying. In certain cases, dry particles may be applied by a gentle jet of air. The technique is applicable only to ferromagnetic materials at a temperature below the Curie point, about 650 degrees centigrade. The leakage field will be greatest for linear discontinuities at right angles to the magnetic field. So for a comprehensive test, the magnetic field must normally be applied in two directions, mutually perpendicular. The test is economical to carry out in terms of equipment cost and rapidly of inspection, and the level of operator training required is relatively low. Figure 5.8 Magnetic particle inspection using a yacht. Figure 5.9 Crack found using magnetic particle inspection. Advantages: inexpensive equipment, direct location of defect, surface condition not critical, can be applied without power, low skill level, subsurface defect found 1 to 2 mm, quick instant results, hard testing using dry powders, can be used in dark UV light. Limitations: only magnetic materials, may need to demonstrate components, access may be a problem for the yacht, need power if using a yacht, no permanent record, calibration of equipment, testing in two direction required, need good lighting, 500 lux minimum. 5.5 Dye penetrant testing. Any liquid with good wetting properties will act as a penetrant, which is attracted into the surface breaking discontinuities by capillary forces. Penetrant which has entered a tight discontinuity will remain even when this excess is removed. Application of a suitable developer will encourage the penetrant within discontinuities to bleed out. If there is a suitable contrast between the penetrant and the developer, an indication visible to the eye will be formed, provided by either visible or fluorescent dyes. Use of fluorescent dyes considerably increases the sensitivity of the technique. The technique is not applicable at extremes of temperature as at below 5 degrees centigrade the penetrant vehicle. Normally oil will become excessive viscous, causing an increase in the penetration time with a consequent decrease in sensitivity. Above 60 degree the penetrant will dry out and the technique will not work. Figure 5.10 Method of applying the red dye during the dye penetrant inspection. Figure 5.11 Crack found using dye penetrant inspection. 5.5.1 Dye penetrant. Advantages: all non-porous materials, portable, applicable to small parts with complex geometry, simple, inexpensive, sensitive, relatively low skill level, easy to interpret. Limitations: will only detect defects open to the surface, requires useful space preparation, not applicable to porous surfaces, temperature dependent, cannot retest indefinitely, potentially hazardous chemicals, no permanent record, time lapse between application and results, messy. 5.5.2 Surface crack detection, magnetic particle or dye penetrant. When considering the relative value of NDE technique, it should not be forgotten that most catastrophic failures initiate from the surface of the component, so the value of magnetic particle and dye penetrant techniques should not be underestimated. Ultrasonic inspection may not detect near surface defects easily, since the indication may be masked by echoes arising from the component geometry, and should there be supplemented by an appropriate surface crack detection technique for maximum test confidence.